Welcome to The Advocates. I'm Aaron Dean. The House of Representatives is passing a resolution that condemns anti-Semitism in the United States and globally. The vote was 311 for and 14 against. Several Jewish lawmakers are calling the Republican-backed measure a partisan attempt to score political points. In protest, more than 90 Democrats voted present instead of casting a vote. Representatives Jerry Nadler and Dan Goldman and Jaimie introduced their resolution that calls on members to support the Biden administration's national strategy to counter anti-Semitism. The State Department says that the Israeli government needs to allow more humanitarian aid into Gaza. Aid is flowing through at a very slow rate. The UN says before the October 7th attack, about 455 aid trucks were crossing into the area each day. Now that number is down to 50 a day. The Norwegian Refugee Council says Israel could be doing more to help.
They have restricted the amount of aid that's been able to go in. They have refused to open their crossings, which are more suitable for the crossings of goods and have the equipment needed to do effective and quick scanning of those goods to ensure that aid is going in. And at the same time, they continue to bombard this tiny strip of land that is incredibly densely populated, where people have been forced to run from place to place seeking shelter. It simply is chaos at this point.
Meanwhile, the Pentagon says that the U.S. military has airlifted 36,000 pounds of supplies to people in Gaza. Israel has intensified its attacks since the truce ended. More than 15,000 Palestinians have been killed since October 7th. The presidents of Harvard, MIT, and the University of Pennsylvania say that they are committed to safety and inclusion despite a rise in anti-Semitism on their campuses. They were questioned about disciplinary action, safety, and hiring practices. Campuses have seen hundreds of protests because of the war between Israel and Hamas. The Education Department has opened an unprecedented number of investigations into alleged incidents of hate on campuses. Harvard, Penn, 6 other colleges, and 4 K-12 school districts are under investigation. They risk losing federal funding if recommendations are not taken. Many Jewish Americans may change the way that they celebrate Hanukkah this year because of security concerns at synagogues and the rise in anti-Semitism. One organization is advancing equality for queer Jewish people and families. This holiday season, they are focused on love and advocacy. What resources does Keshet provide, when it comes to helping people along their journey of being queer within the Jewish community?
The resources Keshet provides to really pursue this goal of achieving full LGBTQ equality in the US are manyfold. That can look like anything from trainings for you or for your organizations, for your communities, whether that's Jewish summer camps, schools, day camps, JCCs, Jewish community centers, or what have you. So anything from trainings that can be 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 hours to year-long cohort training experiences. We also provide a variety of different written materials for people to be able to bring into their own lives, their own families, and their own communities. And that can be anything from interpretations of Jewish text that really affirms LGBTQ belonging and the fact that we LGBTQ folks have always been a part of the Jewish tradition, of the Jewish community, and of Judaism. So, and other resources can look more like ways for people to take action for LGBTQ rights, which John can share a lot more about too.
Yes, John?
Definitely. So Keshet, on our website, we have a full resource center that spans across all of our departments and all of the programmatic work that we do. We, in the Community Mobilization Department, we have put together resources that are ways to talk about LGBTQ rights Jewishly, what to do if you are somebody who is under the age of 18 and you want to advocate in favor of LGBTQ rights, and also ways that you can plug into your local advocacy communities to make the most impact, regardless of your skill level or your experience level with advocacy.
And we always talk about the importance of queer visibility in any community. But when we look at the Jewish community, it seems to be crucial right now, especially in the light of the October 7th attacks. What is your organization, what is the messaging that you're sending to those who are connected to you all right now about what's going on?
I think after the October 7th attack, it became very apparent that the Jewish community, the queer community, and the Jewish queer community do not exist as monoliths with one thought, one political ideology, one view, one way to solve what is going on. And Keshet's approach has really been to be a place where all of those feelings, all of those opinions can coexist peacefully. And we want to create a space where dialogue and relationships can lead. And we put that before like moving the work forward. So in the last 2 months or so, we have really doubled down on the need for community, the need to be in community with one another, and to not be tempted to disappear into silos or into echo chambers, and um, to really lean into conversations and dialogue with folks that agree and folks that don't agree with um, both our personal beliefs and Keshet's organizational beliefs.
So, Jaimie, the holiday season is here, and Hanukkah comes during a difficult time, as we just mentioned, for the Jewish community. Why is celebrating family, friends, and honoring tradition so much more important at this time period?
It really echoes back to what John was saying, which is that when we lean into connection and relationships, that can do so much for ourselves as individuals as well as our communities in terms of healing. Or even if not in terms of healing, then at least in terms of just feeling held and holding space, actively holding space for each other. Something I love about Hanukkah is that the word Hanukkah actually means dedication or rededication. So something that I like to encourage the folks in my life to do right around this time is to really ask ourselves, to whom, like to what individuals, communities, values do we want to rededicate ourselves as we look to the days, months, and years ahead?
Jaimie, the holidays can also be a lonely time for queer youth, and the organization is honoring them with an online candle lighting. Tell us a little bit about that.
So my favorite part about my work at Keshet is that I get to work with about 1,200 LGBTQ and allied Jewish youth throughout the U.S. throughout the year. And so right now, one of the opportunities we're offering to engage with youth, and most importantly, to empower them and provide them with the opportunities to engage with each other and to be in community with each other, is providing this online space where folks can gather, light Hanukkah candles together, share a bit and share and process a bit about what they're feeling and experiencing right now, wherever they are, and also just have a good time celebrating with each other, celebrating the end of the year, celebrating this Jewish holiday, celebrating any milestones going on in their lives. Many of them are heading into the final semester of their high school career. Some of them are getting ready to enter high school after next semester. So we want to be able to hold space for all of that and really be able to center their experiences right now.
Yeah. And on this show, we often talk about intersectionality. What does it mean for you all both to be working at the intersections of the Jewish and then the queer communities when hate is clear and present right now?
Yeah, I think that's so real. As someone whose role has really been for the past few years, meeting with folks that have political ideologies that would limit the rights of myself, my community, the trans community. Um, I feel like I have gotten very used to advocating for my humanity. And I see currently as very similar in vein where, I don't feel like I exist only in the Jewish community or only in the queer community, because all the time I am a queer Jewish person.
Thanks so much for watching The Advocates. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to stream us live, and you can even subscribe to our YouTube channel. For The Advocate channel, I'm Aaron Dean.